Good morning. I wanted to do a quick video to teach you what I've learned about the smoothies that I create for my son with Crohn's disease, and explain a little bit about why I've chosen the products that I've chosen. So if I were to back up and say, we know that the smoothies absolutely have helped my son with garnering nutrition. His Crohn's disease caused him to be completely inflamed top to bottom in his GI tract, and he was getting no nutrition out of food. The food was just simply scraping through and causing internal bleeding and ulcerations, and he wasn't gaining nutrition. So as a family, when we received our Crohn's diagnosis, we needed to find out, how do we feed him and get nutrition in him in a way that will help his body to grab those nutrients and to become healthy and start to grow again. We've seen a lot of excellent results with the smoothies that we've chosen. And here's what I put into the smoothies that has helped my child. Now, realizing that this is completely subjective. What works for one patient with Crohn's disease may or may not work for another, but I think we've got to power together and take our combined knowledge to figure out, how do we help our kiddos. So here's what I put in the smoothies. For my son, because he was 8 years old when we diagnosed, I used a base of Kids Boost to start, and add the calories with the vitamins and minerals already in that mix to start his smoothie. For your child, if they are a teenager, they can completely start with, this is a protein, plant protein based meal replacement shake, if you will. And so I would start this as the basis of the smoothie. It comes with vanilla or chocolate, and it is what makes all of these products so very good for the digestive tract is they are all plant-based, so much more easily digestible from a protein perspective, and not only that, all natural. You will be able to read every ingredient on the back of this label and understand what it says, because they're going to be plants and herbs and roots and vegetables and fruits, things that you will recognize. There are no additives in the products, and consequently no sugar. So you'll have to work with that with your child as well. But this 360 complete shake mix, awesome basis for nutrition. 160 calories in this, and then when you add in the other good nutrients here that I'm going to talk to you about, it will absolutely create a meal, if you will, for your child. And in the instance of my little guy, he was walking out of the house every day with a 6-ounce cup of his nutrition for the entire day, was my goal, what I would get into the smoothie for him. So you start the basis. With this, I mix it with almond milk or coconut milk, because we were working to avoid dairy for a while to see if that was a trigger for him. And so we started with almond and coconut milk. While I'm on the anti-dairy kick, if you're worried about calcium, this is what we used for calcium with our son. It is a coral calcium based, excellent mix with vitamin K, magnesium, and absolutely helped to replace the calcium in the dairy products while we were looking to see if that was a trigger for him. We take this at nighttime because it's liquid, goes right into the bloodstream when you consume liquid vitamins and minerals, and absolutely makes him drowsy. And so really great product, works for mama too, to help me sleep. But what do I add into the smoothie then, and why? Here's one of my favorite things and what I was looking for, greens. So these are powdered greens that contain spirulina, kelp, wheatgrass. But what I also like in this is an absolute concentrated superfood. 1 scoop a day, and he had his 4 servings of fruits and vegetables. And also in here, as you read in journals about anti-inflammation in the body, because that was my goal with these smoothies, how do I get an anti-inflammation smoothie going? This has different blends that the companies put together that are proprietary, but it contains turmeric, which we know is anti-inflammatory. It contains a mushroom blend, which absolutely has anti-inflammatory properties in that, and a whole lot of organic fruits. Just a complete and utter superfood here, and a great, again, all plant-based products, so they easily digestible in your child's system. The next item that I put into the smoothie, it's a scoop. It's 1 teaspoonful of what we call organic sulfur. So this is a dietary sulfur, a mineral that we are missing from our food chain now. So MSM is the mineral, and it has a really long scientific name. I'm just going to call it MSM for now. But basically, we used to get this out of our fruits and vegetables when we were kids. But because farming methodologies have changed, it's been depleted out of the soils, and it's something that we don't have in our bodies anymore. But a complete guide to anti-inflammation. So does it help their GI tract? Yes, can, with the inflammation, as well as if they're having resonant pain in their joints, elbows, knees, ankles. from many of the therapies that they're going through for their IBD. But organic sulfur, great anti-inflammatory aid, and not something that you hear a lot written about or talked about, but we've seen a lot of great progress with this. Next item that I put in the smoothie is what this company calls Mila. It is micro-sliced chia seed, and it's a blended chia seed, and so really thinly sliced, looks like pepper, tastes like nothing, but a complete and utter superfood. And books have been written on like Aztec Indian cultures that live on this because they could tuck the seeds in their little pouch, run around in their tribes, and survive with this as their food base. Where this is helpful for us, a lot of omegas are packed into this. So it's the omegas that help with the brain power. For my child, the brain fog was hard, and focusing at school was hard when you're dealing with a chronic diagnosis. And this absolutely has a component that helps with that, but more so, absolutely helps with regulating digestion. It's just a great superfood. A lot written on this, and more can be sent that you can study about this. Because it is seeds, we soak it in fluid first. So I will put it into almond milk and let it sit for like 3 minutes so that the seeds absorb and become puffed up a little bit, if you will, almost like a little pudding it makes. And sometimes we eat it as pudding. And then I put that into the blender and blend it down even further so his body digests that well. But great, won't go without this because of the mental component as well as the digestion component and what it can do for the body. Now, I want to talk about some superfruit juices. These can either go right into the smoothie if your child has trouble taking things on its own, or we drink it separately in our house. We mix these 3 superfruits together for him, and he has just like a little cup of juice in the morning with these 3. I will say they don't taste so good. These 2. Well, this one really. Okay, so there's no sugar in any of the products, and so that's great for their digestion tract. Difficult sometimes to get a child accustomed to because they've been raised in a sugar culture with our processed foods. But for us in our house, what we've said is this is the taste of healthy. This is what you need to get used to in order to fuel your body optimally. And so these 3 juices right here, here's why they're important. This first one, mangosteen. When I think of these juices here, I'm thinking of Eastern Chinese medicine, if you will, and how they use plants and herbs to treat. And also Polynesian. Some of these superfruits are coming from Polynesian islands and how they've treated cultures for various ailments. Mangosteen, excellent for inflammation. Again, a really good one, a power one. If he comes in even with a headache or just aches and pains, just joint aches, I will give him another dose of organic sulfur and mangosteen besides outside of the smoothie because it has anti-inflammation properties for the body. But 1 ounce a day for each of these superfruits is all that is needed to help see the health benefits in his system. So mangosteen, great. To me, it tastes like pureed pears, almost like a baby food consistency. It's a little thicker, the juice. I don't mind the taste, but I'm an adult. So noni, though. This is absolutely, probably my son would say, his favorite product, and I will tell you it's probably the hardest tasting product out of the line from this company. Again, no sugars, all natural. They take these superfruits and ship them to us in glass bottles, but this is absolutely known for minimizing fatigue, helping with the digestion tract primarily. And I'll tell you, on mornings where he wakes up for school and he's just not feeling right and his stomach is aching and he's hurting, and we will do a straight shot of this juice, and it absolutely calms his digestion tract. Some days it's been known to allow us to get him into school. And so I won't claim that any of these things are miracles. I'm just talking about how do they help my child cope with this disease. But this is a very, very powerful, if we travel, this bottle goes with us because we do see that it does have an impact on his digestion tract. Now let's talk about the stresses that they face. Because when you receive a diagnosis like this, there's a huge anxiety piece that goes with this as well. This Goyin superfruit juice, which is a blend that has, a lot of berries, a lot of roots, but what I like about it is the B6, the B12, the things that help with anxiety, if you will, and stress. This blend has gone up in clinical studies against Prozac, and has been shown to have similar results for the study participants when they rated Prozac versus the participants that were on this superfruit juice. They reported the same outcomes and feelings in that study, and again, won't go a day without this. This absolutely goes with us. In fact, the company sells these in travel packs, so I don't have to take the glass bottle when we travel. We can just take these little disposable packs that we can sip and go. Again, 1 ounce a day is what we put into his smoothies. If he's having particular anxiety on test weeks or things like that are happening at school or in life, we'll do 1 ounce in the morning and 1 ounce at nighttime to help combat just the feelings of stress that they're feeling. Now, other things that are important for my son, and these are in capsule form, so they don't necessarily go into the smoothie, but we absolutely do a probiotic in his diet, working to balance the biome in his gut, and then a multivitamin that the company offers as well. The important thing that I like about pursuing the company, and I know the video is getting long here, so I'm going to wrap it up, but they're all blended and overseen by the same research lab. And so the products meld together. So instead of me going to GNC for one product and running across the store for something else like organic across town, I'm able to get everything out in one location. For me as a mom, super helpful because we're managing so many other doctor's appointments and symptoms in the school and so many other things in their life that I needed to find what was the one company that I could trust because they were the products were blended and working well. So this is what I do for my child with the smoothies, but don't forget that there's the mom component for stress as well. And so I take a lot of these superfruits and nutritional supplements as well. That could be a whole nother video that I send you all if you're interested in knowing that. But there's some great products that they do for natural-based energy and natural-based just how do we work with our anxiety as well, some of these similar things. So thank you all. I hope you find this helpful, and I'll talk with you later.